Guys, it's Marcy. I wanted to do a video. Last night I had heard something and I've seen many videos. It Works had a panel about it when we were just in Florida, and it was talking about mom guilt, or sometimes, you know, if you're in a relationship, guilt along with that, or your friends will guilt you. And it just hit me that we all have some sort of guilt when it comes to wanting to work our business and making time for it. You know, like obviously you see he wanted me in there, and I said, no, I need to do this video because I think there's some people that need to hear this stuff. We all have it. I know sometimes it's hard to be like, Marcy, but you don't have it. You work from home all the time and whatever. So a little backstory, so you know, like when I'm telling you this stuff, I'm going to, like, you get it. When Maxton was born, I was lucky my mom watched him Mondays and Tuesdays so I could work. Well, Mondays consisted of me working 16-hour days, at least. I was gone from him for about 17 hours every Monday from 6 weeks on to probably a year and a half. And then Tuesdays I would be gone for 6 to 8 hours. So I get what it's like to sacrifice your time. And when I was sacrificing my time then away from him, it was at the hospital in Carson and at my mom's pizza place. I enjoyed being at those places, but they weren't like making me money. The sacrifice wasn't really worth missing out on time for him, but I had to do it. I had to be bringing in some income for our family. And so we're so quick to not feel guilty as much about going to our 9-to-5 job because we have to have those. You know, we have our occasional guilt when you're dropping your kid off to a sitter, and thankfully Max knows with my mom, so I didn't have that, or he's been with family or friends since then, because I have to drop him off for photo shoots with people. And that's hard, you know, that's time I can't get back with him. So you have to trust that I get what it's like to be without your children. I get what it's like when I started my photography business. I was married, and I did get the guilt of like, oh, why are you on your computer all the time? Well, pictures don't edit themselves. Or why do you have so many shoots on the weekend? Like, that should be family time and whatever. Or you're gone again, or you're teaching. I had it all. I get what it's like to have a dream that the person you're with doesn't necessarily understand and support. And I get what it's like when you're constantly having to feel like you're choosing one over the other. And I know when you're not making money with something, because my photography doesn't really, like, you know, buy a hot tub. So I get when it's like, why are you doing all these shoots? And like, I mean, there's really nothing to show for it when you're done. And I know sometimes a lot of, you know, the people with the guilt and stuff I'm hearing this from, you know, your checks, you know, $50 to, you know, maybe $200 or $300. So it's like, you know, why are you busting your ass to do this? And there's nothing to really show for it. Like, what are we investing this time for when you could just be hanging out with the family, or, you know, watching a show with us or whatever? I get it. You have to believe in your dream and what you want, and maybe your dream is not to be a stay-at-home mom or work solely on your business. That's fine too. Even if you want to hit Ruby and have that Ruby income coming in, you have to invest some time. You have to invest time in posting. You don't necessarily have to invest in the Zooms or things. Those are things that we are doing to try to help you, and the people who really want to go with this, like, they're there to help and inspire you. And the same thing with the meetings, you know, maybe you're being made to feel guilty for going and doing that because, I mean, you're not making money by going to those meetings. But guess what? If you're not going to them repeatedly, you're going to feel like you're not part of the team. You're going to feel kind of left behind. You're not going to have the friendships that some of us have from seeing each other every month. And it's a sacrifice, and I get that. And I get the guilt you feel by doing something that's just for you. And, you know, the people around you don't necessarily understand why. You have to believe in this so blanking hard that it doesn't matter. That the things people are going to say and do to discourage you, they don't matter. They're going to roll right off you, because you know what? You fight for this, and you fight for the bigger picture and what you want, and it's worth it. Now, I know I had heard a couple people last night, and different things like, Mom, you're always on your phone, or your significant other, like, you're always on your phone. Every DT has had that they're, the person they're in a relationship has said, like, you're constantly on your phone. Chances are you were probably on your phone a lot to begin with, but now they're actually noticing, and you have to be. I had that yesterday. There was a couple times Maxton wanted to say something to me, and I was like, you have to wait a second. Mommy has to finish this message. Or Mommy has to finish a post. Or we'll be in a hot tub, and it's like time for me to do a post. And it's like, well, wait a second. I have to post before I watch you go under the water. Those are sacrifices I still have to make. Do I feel guilty as hell doing it? Yes, I do. But you know what? It's worth it because I get to be here with him all the time. Sometimes I can't, but whatever. But if he was like, say I was working, my teaching and whatever, I would still be having that. I wouldn't be able to go to his practice tonight because I would be sitting in the classroom. I know many of you have jobs where you work all the time, and you can't go to practices and different things like that for your kids, and I'm sure it rips your heart out. Take that and fuel that. Take that pain to fuel and bust ass in this business. And I know what it's like to be a kid, and my dad lived so far away, like he could come to one sporting event a season, and that hurt. And my mom owned her own daycare, so she couldn't, she could only come to home games. And if she did, she typically had to miss the first one, and maybe was able to be at the second one. She had to. Those were sacrifices she had to make. She obviously made up for it in so many other ways, but like, I don't want Maxton to think I'm having to choose anything over him. I don't want him to think that the world revolves around him and he's got like this giant head, because he already kind of is a little cocky because he thinks he's adorable. But I want him to know that he's my top number one priority. We all have sacrifices. We all have guilt. How you let that guilt weigh you down is what's going to make or break you in this business. Are you going to let that guilt be your excuses? We all say we want this for our family. We want this for our kids. We want this for whatever. And then those are the first things that we use as excuses as to why we're not working our business. I can't, my kid has practice. I can't, I have to go, volunteer or whatever. That's fine. Those are your choices. But when you keep saying no to things, you're saying no to the bigger picture. And maybe if you bust ass and you miss a practice here or there, or you can't tuck your kid in tonight, into bed one night. There's nights I'm on Zoom and I can't lay down with him, and he knows Mommy has to do a video chat. Am I making money directly from doing those video chats with you guys? No, but I know the bigger picture. If I'm building leaders and the team keeps growing, I'm never going to have to say no to any adventure or time that I want to spend with him. He's not going to be looking at $80,000 student loan debt like I am and the burdens of that. I know that sacrificing small little things add up to big, huge changes in my life, his life, my business, what I can help you guys achieve. So I hope something in here clicks with somebody. I know what it's like to feel like guilt, and you're never going to be enough for everyone in your life. You're not. Figure out what you need to be doing for you and do that. Rock your business. Do things so you can make memories with those little nuggets you have. And I love you guys. Bye.